everything is just seized up from the sucker from Fraggle Rock. Well, it's hot. The heat finally came to Prince George. It's been like 33 degrees Celsius. My pickup actually said 39 Celsius yesterday when I left work, but I think that was because it was sitting in whatever. So that's got to be like 120. No, not really. I think, you know what? I'll do the conversion. I'll put it down below. So anyways, guys, you've seen the episode where we took the interior and shipped it off. So now we gotta get started on Smokey. And if you're new to the channel, the reason why we call him Smokey is because Smokey's a little burnt and he got smoked out. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming. If you've been here a while, thanks for staying. Oh, I tell you, this heat is, I'm not used to it. Nope, not used to it at all. But I've got fun news. So we're gonna get started on Smokey, and one of the projects that I have that's actually gonna clean up part of the shop, because one of the things I wanna do is clean up some of the stuff that I bought for great ideas that has been sitting around. And also, you know, get Smokey on a regular basis done, because when that interior comes back, I wanna put it in, so. But if you haven't been paying attention to the vlogs or watched all of them, and you know what, I don't blame you if you haven't, because sometimes it's hard. But if you enjoy these videos, please stop right now, hit that like button, really appreciate it. Helps the algorithm and helps save cab overs. So anyways, so one of the things wrong with Smokey is when it went out of service, it was the fellow that was in it was parked for the night. He woke up and it was smoking like a Dickens. And basically what happened is an injector tip broke off, so it was dumping fuel into the cylinder. So it was like puff, puff, puff with, you like that? Puff, puff, puff. Now that my face is fatter, I can do that better. But yeah, so it was dumping fuel into the cylinder, smoking like a bugger, so they parked it. And they ended up selling it to a fella. The fellow that bought it took it, they tried to get it going, couldn't get it going, had someone look at it. They discovered it had a broken injector tip. I think they pulled the pan off too, and they determined that the engine needed to be rebuilt because, well, I don't know why but it needs to be rebuilt. But my question is, if I throw a new injector in it, can we make it run? Even if it just runs enough to move it in and out of the shop and all the rest of it. And a rebuild kit for Smokey, because Smokey's got a Series 60 Detroit, is really cheap. I can get, now it's not a full rebuild kit, but it's basically liners and pistons, and I think rings. I think it was like $3,500 would be my cost. So that's a good deal. Like that's a third of what a Cat one would cost me. So anyways, we're gonna do that. But then I got thinking, what if we can make them run? So we can bring them into the shop, because you know what? Trying to push them with my little tractor, it's not gonna work. So I'm either gonna have to buy a bigger tractor or borrow Dad's backhoe again, which I can, but then I will get it. Then I gotta get over here, and it doesn't have any brakes, although we should do the brakes, but you know how that goes. So if I could get them running, it'd be a lot easier for moving around the yard. So here it is. I don't have the box, so they sent the core back. And let me tell you, I hope they accept the core, because the injector was sitting on the back deck for a bunch of years, and it was very rusty. But here, I'm gonna sit you guys down on this impact and show you what an injector looks like. And this is a brand new injector from Detroit. Cost me like 500 and some bucks, which actually is really good, I think, or not terrible. But this is it, a new Detroit injector. So it's got O-rings in it. We're gonna see if we can get the hood up. And when I say hood, I mean cab, because you know it's cab over, so your hood is your cab, and your cab is your hood. And yeah, inspect it. We're gonna take this little scope, drop it down its gullet, and now which way did I do this? Did it come out of there? Must have. I don't know why I sniffed it. But yeah, we'll get the cab tipped, and we'll get the cab tipped and see if we can scope the cylinder, see if it'll turn over. You know, I don't know, maybe it's locked up now, we just don't know. So we're gonna do some investigation, because I haven't really done that at all since we got him home. You know, dug the interior out and trying to make a plan on that, but but it needs to run. I know, Smokey needs to run. Needs to run free. And you know what, if the engine's toast, I'll just get another one, because Series 60s are used, are pretty easy to find and cheap. And let me tell you, I'm sweating already. Maybe it'll help me lose weight. Probably shouldn't have had that banana cake this morning, but I couldn't help it. I mean, it was homemade banana cake. Friends of ours, their son came over, they're camping on the deck with Tucker and his little buddy, and she brought banana cake. Well, what are you gonna, it would be rude not to eat it, right? I mean, really, you know, honest, it'd be rude. So, sidetrack. The other thing that I bought for Smokey, well, actually I bought it for one of the trucks to try it. I shouldn't say it was actually for Smokey. I started, well, I think I originally got it for low and slow, because the hydraulic jack leaks and it's really irritating. But I don't have to open the cab, pardon me, tip the cab forward that often. So this, you know what? Amazon, we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, I was gonna say we could take it back. Well, actually, we probably could take it back. Anyways, I got an electric hydraulic pump. So this is another thing. I bought it on Amazon. I've had it for, I don't know, a month or two. It's got up and down. Doot, doot, doot. So I figure Smokey will be a great candidate for this, because, you know, working on the cab, doing body work, and then also having to work on the engine, we're probably gonna have to jack the cab up and down a bunch. So wouldn't it be cool to put this on and then just go, boot, cab up, cab down, boot, cab down. So that's what we're gonna do. I made a bracket to mount it, and I got it. I was gonna say I got it in my pocket, but I don't have it in my pocket. What did I do with it? I think I set it down over here. So I didn't record making it, because, you know, I started and I was like, how am I gonna mount this? And I was like, I don't know. But this is why you need to have spare parts kicking around. What were these, you ask? Well, it was an aluminum mud flap clampulator. I guess, like if you're mounting mud flaps and it was like long, but you know, anyways, gonna say, it was free aluminum. So I made this just this morning, all by myself. I know, you're thinking, Mike, I didn't know you were a master fabricator. Well, the truth is I'm not. So the plan is to put it right there like that, and then my hydraulic lines are right there, so hopefully they can reach to there, there, like that. Or I guess I could put it like that. I wonder if I should have it like that, or if I should have it like that. Maybe like that. Well, actually, no, maybe like that, because it'll make it lower to make it easier to hook up the lines. So hopefully it's long enough. We got room? Oh yeah, we got a little bit of room. So we're gonna bolt that on and see if it works. And this is actually a new jack that I bought, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but how fun would it be to have electric and just go boot? And if Smokey ends up being a show truck one day, which I'd really love for him to be a snow, he'll probably be a snow truck too, because it's a few months, 6 months, well, yeah, in a few months, 4 months, 5 months, I don't know how many. Let's just say, okay, it's August, September, October, November. 4 months, maybe 3. No, it'll be 4 months. No, 3 months. August, September, October. Yeah, 3 full months. Okay, that was painful. So yeah, I'd like to, you know, make Smokey kind of like a show truck. And the thing is, being a 94 and having an electronic engine, that'll make them really nice to drive, just because the older trucks, they're not quite as nice to drive as electronic engines. Although, you know, I'm thinking about Kenny, and you know, I need some new throttle linkage and stuff like that. So it's just different, you know, it's just different. So Andrea was just here. She said, we got a heat warning today. So what's it take for heat warning in Prince George? 31 degrees Celsius. It's not really that hot for, you know, considering that a lot of you fellers are, you know, down under, over yonder. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to sweat and I'm going to enjoy it, because you know what? Summer is not here that long. If we had, well, I was going to say if we had like 40 degrees for months on end, that might get a bit hot. But you know, it's like anything, you get used to it. It's like when we get winter, you know, people at other places are like, how can you stand the cold? Well, we whine a lot, but, and very much like if you're down south or, you know, in a place, maybe you're in Africa, maybe you get like 45 degrees. India, there's another place that gets hot. You deal with it like people up here deal with the cold. So you start your car early so it can get cool, whereas in the wintertime we start our cars early so they can get warm. But you know, and really we've got the best of both worlds, because we don't get super cold that often for that long, and we get nice summers, and we have green trees, so it's not like everything's like a barren wasteland look. But I'm using stainless bolts because I got them and I don't have much else for bolts, so I think I should see about getting a bolt bin. I'll have to talk to our Worth rep. I think he's there who supplies bolts at work. So let's put it on the. Ooh. Just give it a little eyeball there. You know, and in all reality, if this works all right, I'll probably fab up a nicer bracket. Unless this bracket works good, I'll probably maybe put a cover over it in the future too, but see how it goes. It's a little oily, but how cool will this be if this works? Because if this works good, I'm doing it to all of them, because that's probably the biggest pain in the butt of a cat mover. Although the only downside is you don't have a manual backup. Although maybe I could run it in parallel, so you have a manual backup. And my bolts are too long, so I'll have to go get new bolts. But in the meantime, I've got some frame spacers that I'm using to space it out. So okay, I'll just throw those on the ground. So I got fittings. Now these are a goofy, I don't know what type of thread they are, but they're not normal is what I'm saying. But the good thing is it did come with 2 JIC fittings. So the good part is, if I can put that on there, I think that, oh yeah, that's just gonna work. They're kind of a different fitting because they got like a flat O-ring with a washer, but as long as I can find it to make it work, that's the main thing. I need to take out, because I don't even know what kind of fitting this is. It's ORB. It's not ORB or JIC. You see how they have these little washer seal things? So, and I could get a fitting for there, but I got a JIC one that'll work, so I'll go grab it. There we go. There's the JIC version. I wonder what JIC stands for. Jones and Company. Jerks Incorporated. I don't know. There's nothing more annoying than hydraulic oil everywhere too. There! Hydraulics are hooked up. Now we'll fill it with ATF and get the jumper pack to see how we make this sucker work. I wonder if it's supposed to lay on its side because of the dipstick. I don't know. We're gonna find out though. So if that lays, well, I guess just means that it's gotta have, oh yeah, I see. Or I gotta have it like right full of oil, I think. Did I mount this thing all wrong? That'll be really annoying if I did. So we got a bit of an issue. In looking at it, it's made to lay flat because the pickup is right here. Now, either I need to fill it right full of hydraulic oil, which it looks like needs to be at least to here, which, you know what, maybe that's not bad. But the pickup stops there. So I think it's basically made to have the fluid up to here, laying on its side, because when I pull this out, and I never even thought about the fact that it would be made for like a dump trailer or something, to where like that's the fluid level gauge, so it's supposed to be like right there. Which means it's still gonna work, but my bracket I first made is wrong. I need to make a new bracket. If you know what I mean. Oh. And I don't have enough automatic transmission fluid to fill it up. So we're gonna have to run to town. But you know what? Sometimes that's just the way it goes. So anyways, gonna park this project for a little bit and yeah, either move on to the next one or maybe we'll just run to town and get some oil. Because I should get some engine oil for this thing if we can crank it over. But anyways, on to the next one. When in doubt, just go back to the old way. Okay, so I should have just jacked this up before, but you can see there was mice in here or something, because there's mouse poops. That white stuff, I don't know if that's mouse or bird or what. It's oily. You can see that it was pumping raw fuel out the exhaust, which is why it was smoking. There's no oil in it, but I want to see if it's gonna turn over. Yeah, it's very oily, but I guess that's kind of a Detroit thing from what I know. Oh. But let's pop the cover off. So this was a 430 horse, 430 1850. I wonder where the ECM is on these things. Starter's nice and high. I like that. Oh, it's down there. Down in there. It's kind of nice that it's got a lifting dog there. So There, yeah, there's fuel in that one too. Power steering pump. But how do we bar it over? Where's my friend Google? But there is some rust, ouch, on those brackets. Here's the seat mount. Good old Kenworth plywood. This jack looks good though. It's been painted with the frame. So, oh, that's a interesting fuel filter. Is that thing hooked up? Is it hooked up, he says? I think it is. Do I know what that is? No idea. Lubrifiner. Huh. Kooky. Water separator, heater. And this is fuel line. Or is that an airline? I think that's an airline. It's disconnected. Or oil line. Goes to the back of the head and, oh yeah, it's fuel. So that comes from the tanks. Somebody's disconnected it. Trying to get it to run, I guess. So, they had the injector out and then put all this back on, and I'm curious. It needs a new air filter housing. So that's gonna have to come off. There's probably a rodent living in there too. But see if I can find a tool for that and zip the valve cover off. Okay, you can definitely tell the valve cover has been off. And that little critters have been living on it, in it, around it. There we go. So number one is missing injector. Ouch. So the question is, how does the guy get in there? Zip these off. For Fraggle Rock. Stripping it. Those ones came off. Sugar. There's always got to be one in the crowd, doesn't there? Of course, that's probably metric, and this is 1/2 inch, so that would do it. I don't have a metric 12 point. I don't think this engine looks terrible. It's definitely got wear, but if we can make it run, that'll be a happy day. Okay, so I need to find another socket. Maybe I'm gonna have to go down and buy some more tools. But if I do, today's the only day I can do that, so. Okay. There is the jake wire. Got these 3 bolts undone. Pull the Jake head off. Help if I undid the bolt all the way. I put a wrench on it and that worked. Actually, let's just not do that. Oh, Mike. There. Now I can kind of see down into the injector. I can. What the heck do I get? Oh dear. Oh dear. It's gonna be a lot more involved to stick an injector in than I thought. Let me just show you guys. You gotta pull the whole thing. But so in the meantime, let's shine a light in there and see what we can see, because things are not looking good so far. Not looking good at all. Okay, so I don't know much about Detroit's, but we're gonna learn. Looks like you have to take this whole overhead off to put an injector in, which is fine. I was hoping I could just pull one off, but I don't think that's the case. You got to pull. I think you got to pull this whole shaft thingy off. So, anyways, you can see the hole there where the injector was. So I'm gonna put the camera in. And hopefully we can see something. And we'll try barring the engine over and yeah, see what we can see. Okay, let's stick her down in there. It's got like a brass sleeve. Right there. It won't go into the hole. I think that's part of the injector personally. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more investigating. The head might have to come off of this in order to do anything, so probably because I bought an injector, but eh. I'm gonna go look at the injector. Oh, let me tell you guys, she's a hot one out there. Oh, okay. So let's take a look. Now, well, maybe not. I guess that's the injector cup. But why does the hole seem so small? Like if I look at this, the camera doesn't fit through that hole. Of course, you know what? I bet you the injector cup got smashed, because if this tip came off, then of course what would happen? The cylinder would come up and it would probably stuff it into that hole. So that's probably what happened. So I'm gonna put that back on. And I'm gonna put this back in here. And I bet you that's what the issue is. The other thing, you know, I'm doing this all backwards. But I got something else to show you. You know, Smokey's testing my patience today. Check this out. So, I pulled the intake off, and look at that. That doesn't look good. The turbo seized, and there's like dust or corrosion Now the veins don't look like the dust was in there when it was running. But it's definitely gunked up now. Oh, so the turbo's locked up. Turbo's locked up. Injector. If I can't stick that thing in, and you know, that's probably not the right thing to do anyways, is put a new injector into it. I think what I really need to do is pull the head off, so. Oh, not a surprise. Not a surprise. I was hoping to get lucky, but yeah, Smokey's a project. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So I'm going to do some more research. You know that? I'm just going to put it back together right now and do some research on these injectors and injector cups. And the reality is, if the tip came off, it probably does have to come off. So, because there would be little bits in there. But yeah. So anyways, I think that's what we'll do. You know what? Maybe we'll find an engine. Because I mean, I knew the engine needed to be rebuilt. And it's got well over 1 million miles on it. So maybe we just pull the engine out too. Because this truck has potential. It was slated for the junkyard and I just couldn't let it go. Maybe I should have. I don't know. But I saw potential. I mean, there's potential in everything, but I just couldn't let it go. So, and if you look at, the cam, it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of scoring on that one, and everything is dirty, so that's not great. So let's try barring this engine over. See what we can get, if it's gonna turn. The fan's not turning either. Like everything is just seized up from the sucker from Fraggle Rock. I wasn't expecting that. I'm no expert, but it should turn easier than that. Oh. You know what? I think the engine's toast. Screw it. We're doing something different, guys. What are we doing? I don't know. Smokey might get put in the corner for a little bit. Because right now, I'm kind of aggravated. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Probably with a different truck, too. Because I got other ones that